now turn up.
What up is Marcus with Dynasty Football Dads. I have my co-host here who just spit out his pacifier. It is Jackson. You're gonna do some analysis with me, some counterpoints. Maybe, yeah. He's thinking about it. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. We're giving away a free Jerry Jeudy signed jersey. All you have to do is be a subscriber to win, and we're getting closer and closer to 1,000 people, and that's the case. And so we're of course building this channel for the sole reason that I want more and more families and more people to be a part of Dynasty Football. I want to spread the fantasy football cheer. It's honestly, it's how me and my dad kind of talk and do a lot of communication as well. So if we can do that and spread this, I think it's just a good way to be able to communicate with family and friends. And yeah, see, look at it. You're going to be a future Dynasty Football member as well. Hopefully football is still around. I would assume it will be in 10, 15, 20 years here. So we're going to be doing the top running backs in Dynasty Football. We're going to be going through 1 through 10. Jackson, did we just create a Patreon channel? We did. Woo! Yes, we did. So Patreon channel will be going, you can look at 11 through 20. Any of the running backs at this point. So I've updated it so far. I think I've done like the top 170 players. I'll continue on that and continue to work that here. Of course, being a dad, you sometimes don't have a lot of free time. But we're going to be going with number 1, and that is CMC, age 24, still super young. I don't really see how you could not have CMC as the number 1 player. He's been the number 1 fantasy player for at least the last, basically you said the last 3 years. I understand that points per game, he was the number 1. Yes, so why are you being frustrated? Every time we put the camera on, you get all pissed off. Yeah, CMC, number 1, 24 years old, and just, I mean, his pass catching ability is literally elite and better than anybody else. He's a wide receiver and a running back all in one. Yeah, it's not even fair sometimes in fantasy football and dynasty football. And I could see him being good for at least the next couple of years here. Number 2, and this is where it probably differs than a lot of the other fantasy analysts, so don't hate on me, but I am moving Jonathan Taylor up here at number 2. It is super close to it. I have the top 3 in kind of a tier here, but Jonathan Taylor, a lot of people are worried that they haven't seen it. They only saw half a year of it. Are you trying to eat my hand? I just fed you. And so Jonathan Taylor being 22, you're going to have a couple extra years, and that offensive line is really good, the Colts offense. And we look at Carson Wentz, he cannot carry this team purely by passing. I know he's not going to Jonathan Taylor might not have the dump downs, but he's going to be Derrick Henry 2.0. Not the running style of Derrick Henry, but they're going to utilize him like Derrick Henry. I feel like that offense is going to run through Jonathan Taylor, and he's going to get a ton of touches. And we find dynasty value in touches. And I understand that, yes, receptions are better than rushing, but you have a guy who might run 20 to 25 times every single game, and there's very few of those type of players. Number 3 is going to be Dalvin Cook, and him and Jonathan Taylor, it is super difficult. I'm not in my man cave right now because we're hanging out here on the couch, but a guy who is 25 years old, Dalvin Cook is, I mean, he is amazing when healthy, and the biggest issue, he's always hurt. He doesn't finish a season. He's never played 16 games, and there's always something going on with him. So Dalvin Cook is my number 3, but when he is playing, that Minnesota offense runs through him. He gets a ton of touches in the rushing and receiving game. He's an exceptional pass catcher. Yeah, and he's my number 3. You're not happy? Come on, we gotta finish the video. We gotta go through 4 through 10, please. Maybe I gotta hold him. Ugh. See? You know what? He's fine for like an hour and a half. We're fine. We're hanging out. And then all of a sudden the camera turns on and he is pissed. But number 4, we're going to be going with Saquon Barkley. And Saquon, being 24 years old, he's a lot of people's 102. I still think that the Giants offense is going to struggle. You have Daniel Jones, who I don't think is an exceptional quarterback. I think he's an okay quarterback. And you have a lot of passing weapons. It's going to be interesting how they're going to exactly work that offense. But that offense is not an amazing offense by any means. And so if you look at the Colts offense, who's maybe a little bit better, but then you have Minnesota's offense, which is a lot better, and then Carolina's offense, which just runs through CMC. I mean, what is going on? Can we wait? Or do you not like Saquon Barkley that low? Okay. He doesn't like Saquon Barkley that low, so pick me or Jackson on. See, so I told you, counter arguments. Always hating on my low picks. But, okay, you're probably going to be really pissed at this one. Because my number 5 is going to be Alvin Kamara. How do you feel about that? Okay, he's maybe fine about that. So Alvin Kamara, my number 5. He's 25 years old. And again, talking about 80 catches baseline, which is awesome. But the offense is going to look different with, I'm going to just do a little shake. What? What do we want to do? I just want to finish a video for the peoples. For the Dynasty dads. I just fed you. This is a conversation we have. Yes. Alvin Kamara, RB5. No, we can't finish the video. No, yeah, please. No, you're pissed. We might have to time out here. Are you hungry again? All right, time out. I'm going to get him some food. We're going to go 6 through 10 right after this. All right, welcome back. So I just took a couple second break. Here. Yeah. All right, 6 through 10 is what we're going to be doing. Now I got to get back to my place of where we were at. Let's see, 6. So, recap, just so we got gone so far, so I can recap too. Christian McCaffrey 1, Jonathan Taylor 2, Dalvin Cook 3, Saquon Barkley 4, Alvin Kamara number 5. And again, just to finish my Alvin Kamara thoughts, Alvin Kamara, 80 catches. You're going to have a guy who has a really good baseline with receptions. Just talk about it. He's never had less than 80 receptions in a season. So you're talking about a guy who, again, we talked about yards. He's an all-purpose back. He is really can do it all. And whether it's Taysom Hill or whether it's Jameis Winston, it's not going to be Ian Book. Whether it's one of those two quarterbacks, I feel like you're going to still get a running back who's going to be a top 5 running back, or at least a top 7 running back the next couple of years until he starts hitting that 27 age. You're going to see a lot of these running backs start falling off the cliff here in about a year and a half, 2 years. So don't panic and immediately sell these players, but understand that their value is short-lived and know that, yes, you are having an RB5 in Dynasty, but he's still a running back that can fall off the cliff very quickly. Or he could be around for another 2-3 years, which is what running backs sometimes, we expect and we hope that Najee Harris and Javonte Williams and Travis Etienne are good for 3 years. That's what we're hoping for. It doesn't happen a lot of times, but we're hoping for that. And you might get the same amount of Alvin Kamara, who's been around the league for 4 or 5 years. All right, the next guy, number 6, is Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb is 25 years old, but he is the best pure running back. I consider him and Jonathan Taylor very similar, but Nick Chubb has better vision, he breaks tackles better. Nick Chubb is an amazing running back, and I thought Kareem Hunt was going to be a problem there in Cleveland. I really did, but he's not. I think if Kareem Hunt does anything, he just is a really good complementary to the clear alpha in that offense, which is Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb is still 25 years old, and there's not much else to say besides I think that they're going to continue to utilize him a ton, and I think the Browns offense is going to take a step forward. So I could see Nick Chubb easily having 11, 12, 13 touchdowns, and you'd be able to go, oh, wow, he's RB4 in fantasy football next year. And I really could see him having a really good 2021 season. Number 7, and this is where I don't know if it's hatred. People either hate or love this guy. And it's partly because Jamal Williams is there, and I have no idea why people like Jamal Williams, because Jamal Williams was Aaron Jones, and Aaron Jones had a RB3 in 5 season. But anyways, DAndre Swift, talent is key, and I don't like the Lions offense. I mean, no one does. I mean, really, that's the biggest issue, I think. But if you look at Saquon Barkley versus DAndre Swift, DAndre Swift not as talented as Saquon Barkley, but Swift is could be arguably the most talented running back in the 2020 class. There's argument that he could be. There's a lot of people that said he was consensus 101 until the draft hit. J.K. Dobbins was up there too. So there's a lot of upper running backs in the 2020 class. But we look at DAndre Swift. DAndre Swift is talented. And he's one of the most talented running backs, I think, in the entire league. And that's going to be where we see his dead leg. We see how he can be utilized in the passing game. I know that he missed that game-winning catch early last year. But still, he has shown that he can be utilized in the passing game and the rushing game ultimately, I don't know what else you want. He's going to have a huge chunk of that share in Detroit. And I know Detroit might struggle, but like you got to go with DAndre Swift here, in my opinion. I think he is my RB7. And so the RB8 is going to be J.K. Dobbins. Again, the same exact arguments you could have for DAndre Swift is the exact same arguments for J.K. Dobbins. Except maybe a couple little twists to it, is Lamar Jackson could be a problem, of course, for J.K. Dobbins, but that team runs a ton. I think your passing upside on J.K. Dobbins is going to be a little less. It just depends on what type of running back do you like. Do you like a running back that's going to get more receiving yards, or are you going to get like a running back that's probably going to have more goal line carries? Because I think J.K. Dobbins could easily have 10 touchdowns, and Lamar could have his 6, 7, 8 touchdowns as well. I think J.K. Dobbins is a perfect spot here at RB8. RB9, and this was tough. This is when we start getting into some big, huge question marks. RB9 is going to be a Zeke. I still feel like there's a good year and a half, 2 years of Zeke left. I think that's going to be the abnormal. I think analytics would show otherwise, but sometimes you got to fight against analytics and just go. And some analytics show that he still has a good year and a half left. And I think that is one thing that we have to still respect. It says analytics say he's going to have a good year, but will he have 2-3 more years left in him? And that's going to be the big question, because you have him. And then my RB10, which is CEH, Clyde EdwardsHelaire. And Clyde EdwardsHelaire is a running back who's only 22 and in Kansas City offense, which is perfect. And he was the 101, 102 in a lot of 1QB drafts last year. So where do we have him now? Why is he running back 10? And the thing is if Clyde has a bad year, his draft value, I mean, you could see him as RB23 next year or RB25. He has a really good year. You could see him as RB4. So he has a really wide variety. I believe in Clyde EdwardsHelaire. There's a lot of times I would have CEH above Zeke, but it's so close. They are so close to each other that I'm going to put Zeke ahead of him for now. But it depends on your situation. Are you competing for a championship now? Yeah, even just thinking about it, I'm like, man, I really like Clyde EdwardsHelaire. He might have to be my RB9. And so just thinking about that, just know that when you're in tiers, know that they're so close that you are nitpicking. Like I am nitpicking between J.K. Dobbins and Swift. If you like Dobbins more than Swift, go for it. I, in fact, drafted Dobbins over Swift last year, so it happens. Am I going to go backwards? Am I going to take Dobbins and trade him back for Swift? No, I'm going to stick with Dobbins because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that. Are you okay? Are you happy now? You're probably going to spit up all over the place. I need better glass. All right. So if you want RBs 11 through 20, just go through the Patreon thing. I'll post them up there here soon. I'm going to be doing all sorts of different running back rankings. And the goal of Patreon, I don't know what other people's goals are at Patreon. Mine is to give half of everything away. So just know that. Like my goal is, let's just say it's $10. And my goal is to give away 5 of it to a separate, like basically pot of money that is going to be giveaways and stuff. So just know that, yeah, maybe it's going to be $10, but your chances of winning something, especially if there's only, let's say, 30 Patreons, and we give away something if there's enough money every week or every couple days, or if we're saving up for something big, maybe we'll give away something like $1,000 worth, and you have a 1 in 30 chance of getting it. So there's going to be a lot of different things that we're going to be doing on the Patreon channel, because I want to be able to, first of all, I gotta make sure my wife wants. I gotta convince her to keep doing these things. I can't just create videos for the entire next year and be like, hey, by the way, I'm just doing. It takes a while to prep, to do the videos, to actually produce them and putting them on YouTube and everything. And so it takes an hour a video, maybe less, more, depending on the video. And sometimes it takes a lot less, and sometimes it takes a lot more if I have to go through it. And I have to go through all these rankings, and I'm going to have to be updating them, and I'm going to be contacting, and it's going to take a lot of work. And to do that, I can't just be like, well, I'm doing this for free. Because immediately she'll just be like, no, you're not doing it. Go do something else. Go make yourself productive in something else. Are you passed out now? He's sleeping, I think. So that is why Patreon, I want to be able to build that for A, giveaways, B, to convince my wife, and if you have some wives here, that you got to convince the wives that you want to continue to do this, because I would love to continue to do this, and I know how quickly this channel has built so far, and I would love to keep talking and building this channel and keep giving content out there that I think is valuable for the Dynasty community. All right, this is Marcus Dynasty Football Dads. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.
Now turn up.